Alright, so in today's video we're going to be going over the new unit on JP. He'll probably come out in like a year on global, but if you didn't know, on JP about a couple months ago they did a poll for the most popular unit vote, and the top four were War God Fen, HK Roy, BF Emp, and SGL. And the winner of this vote would get a new ascended unit. And the winner was Emporer Isliid. So they went a kind of a strange route, but they made a kid version of Emperor. Here's his artwork, pretty cool. Definitely not the best artwork, but his SP right here, this is pimp, and it's got a little audio with it. So I'm just gonna like be quiet and play the audio, and yeah.
あの日、感情は刻印により抑制されていた。それでも、痛みを感じた。あの日の空は、曇天だった。
Alright, so his SP goes kind of hard. I like it. And then next up is going to be his kit. So this is the main part, you know, this is what you've been waiting for. What does this man actually do? So, he is going to be a light human just like the other two Emps. And he is going to have a 6-star magical, 5-star physical, 5-star defense, and at LB7 a 5-star support. Honestly, it's not as good as BF Emp slots just because now you're having to choose between the defense and the support. But with BF Emp, if you got him to LB7, you get the support, and then you just run support all the time. You never use the physical, and then he'll always have the defense, so that's just better. But it's a little bit worse here with this unit, but you know, it's fine. And then his skill is going to increase his own arts by 30. Additionally, if used during within, okay, that's worded a little weird, but additionally, if used during the first 90 seconds of quest, increase own arts by an additional 70. That's kind of crazy. So in the first minute and a half, he's going to be getting 100 arts off of his skill. That's stupid, but you know, whatever. And then in his art, for 20 seconds, increase ally stats by 30% and reduce enemies' evasion rate by 30%. So this is a 30% heal. I'm pretty sure normal Emp has this, like the Awoken one. 30% stats up, and then the 30% evasion rate down. That's always nice. And then his true art, for 50 seconds, reduce enemies' damage res by 50% and increase own super crit rate by 50%. So bro has super crit. And once we read this super art, you're going to realize why that's a little silly. He's going to be hitting a little hard. Alright. The main part of his kit, super art. Increase all allies' arts by 50. For 45 seconds, increase light allies' damage by 150% stackable. Additionally, if used within the first minute and a half of quest, increase light allies' damage by an additional 50% stackable. So a 200% stackable light damage buff. That's insane. And he's giving everybody 50 arts. This man with a 160,000% multiplier, it's not that crazy of a multiplier, but 200% damage stackable, and you can run him with BF Emp and SGL and whoever else like Kenshin or maybe the new Saitama on JP. This team comp is going to be stupid. If you have these units, you're winning. You're just winning. And then I'd say the way you're going to want to play him is maybe like, you know, art if you need it. Like if you need some evasion down, art. If you need some heals, art. But then true art, you're probably going to want to use that like once just to get the super crit up for 50 seconds. You don't really need that damage res if you're combining him with BF Emp. You're just going to want that super crit rate. But then super art, he's pretty much just going to be super art spamming most of the time just to get arts gauge and tons of light damage stacks. And then, very good part about his kit, the abilities. At start of battle, increase allies' arts by 30. That's silly. That is very silly. So, that's like Summer Mew and Jay's passive, where at the start of every battle they get 200. So this is every wave. Everybody on the team is getting 30 arts. This, like, he might be busted. And then when own HP is 80% or higher, increase own crit rate by 100%. So you don't even need to provide crit. He's just doing it already. He's going to be smacking so hard. with SGL and BFM, and this man, the Arch Gen is going to be insane. The damage output is going to be insane. All of it is, like, this team comp is silly. I'm loving it. And then the next thing we're going to go over is his True Equip. Honestly, extremely disappointed in the True Equip. I kind of hate it, but it's a 5-star physical. Kind of weird. I was hoping for a 6-star magic because, you know, that's his first slot and his super art is magic damage. But, you know, we'll see. Maybe it has some redeeming factors. All right. For 10 seconds, reduce enemies' light res by 30%. All right, that's a mid skill. It's really not doing anything crazy. And then when equipped by young Emperor Isliid, increase own physical damage by 70% and arts by 1 a second. Does not stack with abilities of the same name. At start of battle, increase own arts by 20 and refresh this equipped CT. Does not stack with abilities of the same name. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. This equip is terrible for him. Like, so his super art is magic damage. So if you're spamming that, you're not doing physical damage, you're doing magical damage. And his true art is physical damage, but, you know, you just want to use that to get your super crit, and then you want to spam super arts. So I don't know what this equip is for. I really don't like it. I do not think it's going to be best in slot, not even close. I'm hoping there's going to be, I don't know, maybe like they just didn't release a second true equip for him yet. I don't know. I'm just praying. I'm praying that there's going to be a 6-star magic that's just better. All right, and then next up is going to be his animations. So once again, this is a video. I'm just going to shut up, and here you go. Here's some animations.
瞬け見えた刮目したまえスメラギの剣しぐれ行くよ刮目したまえ全身全霊だ呪術刻印解除我が身よ来光と化せ甘い刮目したまえ全身全力意志を集え因果刻印解除はあ
Alright, so his animations, kind of nice. I like them. Honestly, I like BFMs more, but, you know, animations aren't that important. They're not that important. The important thing is that super art is kind of fast. So you're going to be able to spam it a couple times pretty quick. But I'm going to be honest. If you have a good mono light team, this man is a must summon. You need to get this man. He's going to be insane for just damage. And then arch genning and his super crit. Ooh, and the amount of arch gen he has is going to be stupid. Especially he can stack with BFM. SG, like the team comps, you don't understand. They're going to be so good. But you know, we'll get there in a year. Hopefully we can get a couple of crossover units in that time period to bolster him and make him a little bit better. But yeah, that's it for this video. Just a nice short one. But yeah, see ya.